I think we need to start talking about this Tennessee Volunteer program just a bit differently, because they went into Death Valley and won the game 40-13 against an LSU team that's still developing. They're not what they're going to be long-term, but this was a game that was very much a setup for Tennessee. This was a game that had trap written all over it, in a game that you could have been looking ahead to Alabama next week, and they went in there and handled their business. Off the top, I think one of the things you got to look at for Tennessee is they're just continuing to validate everything that they believe they are in-house. Because remember, this Tennessee program, they're in year 2 under Josh Heupel. It's not like it's been 6-7 years where they've been building to this kind of season. They're in their second year in the system. So everything that they're doing right now, they're doing for the first time. There's not a proof of concept to where they won 10 games a season ago or they played for an SEC title a season ago. Folks, they were 7-6 last year. So everything they're doing, again, is all believed in the locker room, and now they're continuing to get more and more reason to believe in themselves, to believe that they are who they think they are. That's a scary thing. That's a scary thing for this Tennessee to be as high octane as they are offensively, to now have the confidence and the belief to couple with that, and to have some skins on the wall. I'm excited to watch this Tennessee program going forward. Think it's time that we start talking about them just a little bit differently in terms of the complexion of the college football landscape. I'm JD Piquel. This is The Hard Count. Subscribe to the channel while you're here. It helps us. It helps you. We do a live show tonight to break down the entirety of college football Saturday. We're going to break this game down in totality too, as well as maybe take a little bit of a look ahead to the Alabama game that's looming so large for Tennessee Volunteer fans. The second thing that I was impressed by from Tennessee, how mature did this Tennessee team look? I mean, legitimately, like I said, going into an atmosphere that was sold out, where a lot of teams go and fumble their dreams, Tennessee just had no flinch. And I think a lot of that is taking on the persona of Josh Heupel. Confident, collected. I mean, when he took the podium yesterday for his post-game press conference, it was just business as usual. It was just, yeah, the show goes on. Another one on the wall. What do you want to do about it? Like, that was the kind of sense I got from Josh Heupel. Like, they expected to win, and there was zero flinch. I mean, they were the more mature team. And it starts from the top, and it works its way all the way down. I want to remind you again, it's the second year in this system. It's the second year for this team under Josh Heupel. You're not supposed to be mature in your second year, much less when you only won 7 games the year before. The maturity of this team is what's going to make them dangerous. And like I said, the confidence they're continuing to build based off getting wins like this, getting wins against teams like Florida, heading into Alabama week, they're going to be dangerous for the rest of the college football landscape. And so that's, I think, what I want to sort of drive home. We need to start talking about Tennessee in the upper tier. And I understand that the goodwill isn't there that some of these other programs have, like Georgia, like Alabama. They've got head coaches that have national title rings on their fingers, especially in Tuscaloosa. But for just this year alone, what have you seen from Alabama or Georgia that gives you more confidence than Tennessee? I mean, just think about it. Just in the year 2022, so you don't get to look back and see what Georgia did last year. You don't get to see what Alabama did last year. You don't know that Bryce Young has a Heisman Trophy. In just 2022, if I introduce you to the SEC Conference, or I guess the Southeastern Conference, SEC stands for conference, whatever, Alabama and Georgia have played really well. But if you put them up against Tennessee's resume, I'm just as impressed. What Tennessee did against Florida, what Tennessee did yesterday against LSU, just absolutely taking a ranked team to the woodshed, had their fans going home early. This Tennessee team is going to be a problem for Alabama and for Georgia. Now, do they beat both of them? That's a whole other conversation we're going to have on this channel. You better believe it. But Tennessee is a problem, and they're an elite team. They need to be talked about that way. Everything that Tennessee wants to do is in front of them. Can they win the SEC? Absolutely. Can they play for the college football playoff? Absolutely. Now, they don't have the same experience as some of these other programs do in terms of having been there and done that, but they got the tools. So Tennessee, again, a convincing win, 40-13 over LSU in Death Valley. They welcome the Crimson Tide to Knoxville next week. That's it for us here on The Hard Count. We appreciate you tuning in. Live show tonight on this channel, 7 Eastern, 6 Central. We are excited to see you then. And until then, we're going to keep the party rolling. So we will see you next time.